Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Tuesday, February 24th, 2015. Yesterday existing home sales came up a tad short, but the shocker in my mind was the Dallas Fed manufacturing survey, which we'll jump over here and take a look at. Last month was below expectations, and this month was even further below expectations. So, no growth in manufacturing in the southern district, which is not only Texas, but I'm sure includes some other states. I'm not exactly clear on which ones they are, but it says manufacturers in Texas. I thought it would be the Dallas region for the Fed, but I guess it's just Texas. Okay, if that's the way you want to do it, then it's just Texas. So Texas is not doing so hot. Today we have the Case-Shiller Home Pricing Index, Consumer Confidence, and then anti-Yellen at 10 o'clock. I guess she's going to be on the hot seat for a couple of days. My understanding is she's testifying before Congress. How can they waste so much time? I don't know. Is that all they do, congressmen, is just ask questions? They should just go back home to their districts every once in a while and find out what the heck is really going on, instead of talking to elites like Janet Yellen. Anyway, there I go again, right? Okay, so that's an interesting picture. Is she a hawk there? Is that what they're saying? We'll find out. What's so tranquil about the market? I don't understand what's so tranquil about it. Over in Asia, mostly bullish, and in Europe, mostly bearish. And whatever's bullish is not too much so, actually. Pretty interesting picture. Kind of looks like she's got a pipe in her mouth or something there, doesn't it? But that's a beak. That's pretty interesting. Anyway, there's some other items of interest on here. You may want to check it out. But what I would like to do is just get right over and take a look at the futures here in the U.S. Let me hide that for a second. We're looking sort of flat here. Gold is still below 1,200. Slightly disturbing for me. Oil finally got below 50, but I don't think that's going to matter for gas. And I'm prepared to pay, $2.30 to $2.50 a gallon on my way back to the Arctic North. Dollars at 94.89. It's still hanging around there right at the peak. It's not moving too much now. It's still pretty high. And the Euro US dollar is $1.1311. So I think yesterday it was at $1.12 something, almost $1.13. So that has not moved a whole heck of a lot either. And of course, I did not do a dang thing yesterday. Had a very nice visit with my sister and her two daughters. Got them off the plantation, I guess you might say, because they did the whole Disney vacation and they're trapped there unless they want to rent a car. So we went and picked them up, and we just kind of traveled around a little bit and visited some interesting places in Central Florida with them. So we had a real nice day. Makes me wish, though, that, in retrospect, I'm thinking here that maybe I'm not so good at what I do. Because looking at this intraday, which I'm going to squeeze this over a little bit more, I'm going to squeeze the weekly over because things are not, like they said, I guess it is kind of tranquil. If you call this moves like this tranquil, I don't call that tranquil. I don't know what they're talking about. The NASDAQ is on a tear led by Apple and by Amazon? No, Amazon didn't have too good of a day yesterday. So we were looking at an entry here, and we're in a downtrend right now on the daily, so I'm not real interested in doing a bullish play here. So a bull put is definitely out of the question. I should have noticed that yesterday, this downtrend. So if we look at the next time frame up, if we're trading on the intraday chart, we look at the next time frame up, and we're in a downtrend, or at least we're consolidating at a minimum. So you do not want to do any 50 deltas, and you have to call into question even doing something less than that, like a 20 or a 30. So you just have to tread lightly. But Apple, that's kind of a different story. Let's start out with that right now. Didn't even give us an entry on the intraday time frame. It just took off and just kind of never looked back. But there was an entry back here on this particular candle, which is the opening candle of Friday. There's an entry. So I'm going to be focusing much more on the intraday time frame now, and stick to the rules. And you have to kind of move the rules around according to the market. I mean, rules don't always hold up forever. So this is a tear up here to the northeast. Moving northeast at a rapid pace. No entry on that unless you want to just get in. And that can be done. But again, today I'm going to be on the road early, so I won't be getting in on this. And I'm not going to do a limit order, because I can't even do a limit order. I'd have to do a market order on a spread, and I'm not going to do that. So Amazon, we already looked at it. It's not doing anything, so I'm not interested. Boeing had a big pullback yesterday. Maybe something in the news. I don't know. I'm not going to bother about it, but I'm sure that something popped up that traders did not like. BIDU is in a downtrend, so let's throw a target up here. So it's definitely in a nice solid downtrend. I'm not real concerned about this trend over here. It could, this one is the 50 exponential, and that is one that I'm interested in keeping an eye on, because it's 50 period, which means it's 50 and there's 5 periods. So this is like a 10-day moving average right here, the equivalent to. And we can see that they're definitely in a downtrend. So we have a target set up here. Not ready for prime time yet, but it could happen today. So that's the only thing. We're going to want to watch BIDU. I'm going to call that a setup on the intraday. So I'll say intraday setup. ISU BIDU. Intraday setup. Alright. Chipotle. Consolidating. No momentum. Costco. Consolidating. Earnings coming up. Dow's having, it's having a hard time holding this top. But NASDAQ's a whole different story, so that means that NDX is interesting. Alright, gold is crashing big time. Covered call, we can take I'm not even going to bother looking at that. We looked at it yesterday, I won't look at it today. Google. Alright, so we are, what looks like a new downtrend. And same thing over here. And we got confirmation all over the place that prices headed down, at least a short-term trend, into the downward direction. So I'm throwing a target up here. I'll get rid of this target because that's not going to be happening. Let's see here. Okay. But just to be careful with anti-Yellen here. Okay, what do we got going on here with LinkedIn? Consolidation on the daily, pretty much consolidating on the intraday. So let's move on. NDX is the one that I was looking at this, and this is what made me think that, you know what, for an option guru, you're pretty dumb. You should have been looking at this before, because here is a really nice entry on this, based on moving to the shorter time frame. Here was an entry on NASDAQ. Here's another one here. And here's another one here. They all would have been successful. And now we can't get one to save our lives. So I don't know what to say, except that I should have been doing that more, trying to squeeze trades in based on the daily, and making some pretty dumb mistakes. So moving down here, if we're going to just stick with the weeklies, and in the current week, we're going to stick with this 78-minute chart here, which is 1/5 of a day, and this day is 1/5 of a week. So if you're doing something long-term, sure, you can go ahead and take a look at this so you can get your delta. Your 20 or your 30 delta is going to be a lot further down if you're trading, say, monthlies off of a daily chart. Trade weeklies off of an intra-day chart. Okay, so right now, can you believe that the MACD is practically at 0? This is pretty strange here, isn't it? I don't know if that plays off of volume or not. I don't know. Because that may be why it's so weird. But if you just go by the stochastic, there's lots of opportunity there. All right, Netflix. We were looking for an entry here. I'm afraid that Netflix may have run out of gas. So I'm taking this off of here. And we're going to just keep an eye on Netflix and see what's going on. Priceline, is it still on a tear? No, it may want to come back here and fill this gap. So we're not doing anything with Priceline right now, that's for sure. How about the Russell? Russell's always kind of interesting. We almost had an entry here. I should almost use a square now, shouldn't I? They do have a square, yeah, rectangle. Taking these all off of here. Oh yeah, we have to go by each chart now because we're not synchronizing drawings anymore. So if we were to look at the Russell, and the Russell looks to be kind of running out of gas itself, there's a lot of consolidation going on here, so I'm not real tickled about the Russell right now. SPX, I'm kind of tickled about that. Let's remove this and we'll put a rectangle up here and see how that looks. Oh, it's gray. I'll change that later. There, I did change it. So this is what we're looking for here. This is a nice little entry at the end of the day. We will see how that works out. And that would be for this week, of course. Tesla, we did get an entry on it. No. Not according to this. We're not dealing with that. Take that off of there. Looking over here on the daily, we're kind of in a downtrend. A lot of craziness going on here. Not interested in Tesla. So all we really have for today is BIDU and Google. Visa is not giving us an entry yet. So let's go ahead and we'll throw a box in here for today, and we'll see if it comes down, gives us an entry sometime in the near future. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. I'm going to try this out. Going to focusing more on the intraday than on the daily, and looking at the daily for trend and overall pattern, I guess you might say. Would I take the weekly off of here? Yeah, well, I'll leave the weekly up for now. Okay, so that's it for today. That's what we have is BIDU and Google on the intraday setup. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.